trying to think. It was, I have to say, it was probably some time ago. As much, gosh, I have, oh, I'll tell you what it was. I'll tell you what it was, though I made up for it. It was the season finale, as they call it, of the last series of House. I watched them all up until, and I had the season pass on iTunes, but really annoyingly, I was abroad in Indonesia, a place that didn't have the broadband bandwidth to allow me to download it from iTunes, but it could do it over 3 days through a BitTorrent. I was filming there, so I BitTorrented it, but I like to think because I paid for it anyway, it doesn't really count. So,
okay, a couple of questions coming in here about the fact that tonight's gig, the ticket said, do not bring recording devices into the venue. Meanwhile, we've got another tweet, I won't say who from, saying, I've already uploaded it to YouTube, Rory. So yes, tell me.
Well, I mean, the fact is, there are lots of recording devices. We take recording devices with us wherever we go. There's a marvellous line in Oscar Wilde's masterpiece, The Importance of Being Earnest, where the character of Cicely talks about how she's busy writing her diary. And Miss Prism, her teacher, says, memory, Miss Prism, is the diary we all carry around with us. And memory is the iPhone we all have in our head, between our ears. But the fact is, you've all got phones here. There's a Lumix there, and another one there. Oh yeah, there we are. That's obviously, that looks like a BlackBerry over there. Lots of devices in which you are recording things. And most of them at the moment are going to produce sound and vision of such ineffably crap quality that they're interesting, except themselves as a memory. But yeah, of course, Apple have been in a difficult position. Apple invented their own form of DRM. You know what I mean by DRM, digital rights management. It's the digital lock that is put on the music and the films that are sold in the iTunes store, for example. And the Apple version, which is called Fairplay, proved very strong and wasn't cracked by many people. And that's the reason when you download something from iTunes, you pay for it, you can't put it on someone else's iPhone. But recently, as you probably know, Steve Jobs, before he was ill and left, and he's come back, that's to say, but he actually put out an edict that Apple was going to go, it was going to unlock its music. There would be no DRM, no digital locks on the music. I think that's a good thing.
Okay, talking of which, that relates to another question we've got here from Emerson P. Do you think streaming services like Spotify will replace downloads?
Well, Spotify is a very interesting case, isn't it? And we're rather proud of the fact that, like the World Wide Web, it's British. I think what Spotify will do, because the lesson was from Napster. You remember the Napster service, or some of you are far too young to remember the Napster service, but that was one of the earlier free sharing services that fell foul of the RIAA, the American Recording Association. I think you're probably not aware, or you may be aware without knowing that you're aware, that television in this country and radio has an agreement with the Performing Rights Society, which is called a buyout. That's to say, every year, BBC, ITV, Channel 4, all our major broadcasters pay an enormous sum of money to the Performing Rights Society, which means that they can play and use all music on domestic programs whenever they like. That's why, if you watch a kind of buy a home in the West Country for a bargain with a celebrity type program, almost every 3 minutes they splice together 7 bits of music. Irritatingly. It's usually the young folks or something at the moment. They seem to be obsessed with playing that everywhere. Shut up! But the point is they don't have to pay for every time they use it. If you make a feature film, you have to do a deal with a music company that costs you millions. I think Spotify will do a buyout in the same way with the Performing Rights Society. I think they'll borrow the money to do a buyout. I think they'll probably pay less than others, and I think that will allow the thing to work. I suspect, I don't know whether that model will adhere, but that seems to be the way they'll do it.
The question is where they make their money
Oh,
from.
where they make their money from? Well, that's what I remember when people said that about Google. They said, well, Google's very popular, but surely it'll never make any money. The fact is, any throughput, any click-through, any use we make of a service like Spotify, if they wish to sort of, I was trying to say suck a bit of us off, but that can't be right. If they wish to use the information that we have been through there and the music we like and where we come from, and in order to register on any kind of new commercial venture, they will do that. Then they will be able to make